Hey everyone! If you've ever looked at the Arduino Uno and the ESP32 and thought, which one do I actually need, then this video is for you. I'll break it down in a simple way: performance, Wi-Fi, price, programming, real projects, and who each board is actually made for. I'm an embedded engineer. I work with microcontrollers like STM32, NRF, ESP32, and Arduino. On this channel, we build practical things: electronics, embedded systems, automation, IoT, and real projects that you can actually build at home. If you want more comparisons like this and step-by-step projects with ready-to-use code, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because that's exactly what I post here. What are Arduino Uno and ESP32? In one sentence. Arduino Uno is the classic beginner board. It's perfect for learning the basics like pins, LED sensors, PWM, and serial communication. ESP32 is a modern microcontroller that is basically Arduino plus Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a lot more power, all in one board. Hardware. The key differences. Let's get straight to it. Arduino Uno is an 8-bit microcontroller running at around 16 MHz. It uses 5-volt logic, which is great for many older sensors and modules. It's extremely easy to start with, and there are tutorials for almost everything. But it also has very limited memory and no built-in wireless connectivity. ESP32, on the other hand, is a 32-bit microcontroller with much more speed and processing power. It usually runs on 3.3-volt logic, which is important to remember for compatibility. It has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, more peripherals, more PWM channels, and overall much more advanced features. However, it can be a bit more sensitive for beginners, especially when it comes to power supply and electrical noise. If you want, I can make a full video about the most common ESP32 mistakes and how to avoid them. Just comment ESP32 mistakes. Programming. How hard is it? This is the biggest question for most people. With Arduino Uno, the start is very simple. You open the Arduino IDE, plug in a USB cable, upload the code, and it just works. Libraries and examples exist for almost everything. With ESP32, you can also program it using the Arduino IDE, which is the easiest option. Or you can go more professional and use ESP32, which is closer to an industry workflow. But you do need to watch out for a few things: 3.3-volt logic, stable power, drivers sometimes, and if you use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth without structure, your code can become messy very fast. So the bottom line is this: Arduino Uno is the easiest board to start with, and ESP32 is better when you want more. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, ESP32 wins instantly. If you're building anything modern like IoT, smart home projects, MQTT, web dashboards, or BLE sensors, ESP32 is the natural choice. With Arduino Uno, you can add a Wi-Fi module, but it often becomes more expensive, more complicated, and slower. Power and reliability, where people usually struggle. This comes from real experience. Arduino Uno is very forgiving. You plug it in, and most of the time, it just works. ESP32 can glitch if your power supply is unstable, if you use a bad USB cable, if you connect power-hungry modules without a proper regulator, or if you run Wi-Fi or Bluetooth while powering everything from something too weak. If you want ESP32 to behave properly, use a solid 5-volt power source and a good 3.3-volt regulator when needed. Price. Which one is more worth it? In practice, ESP32 is often cheaper, or at least similar in price to Arduino Uno clones, while giving you much more. Arduino Uno is more expensive per performance, but cheaper on headaches when you are completely new. Which projects fit each one? Here's the simple map. Choose Arduino Uno if you are learning electronics and microcontroller basics. If you build simple projects like LEDs, relays, servos, sensors, and basic displays. If you want the smoothest beginner experience without Wi-Fi complexity, and if you work with many 5-volt peripherals and don't want to deal with level shifting. Choose ESP32 if you build IoT projects like MQTT, home assistant integrations, or web dashboards. If you want Bluetooth low energy for beacons, sensors, or phone communication. If you need more speed, memory, and features. If you are working on battery or low power projects. And if you want modern, real-world embedded projects. Okay, but what would I personally buy? If you are a total beginner and you want the easiest possible entry, I would say Arduino Uno. But if you want to learn what is most relevant today, especially IoT and automation, I would recommend ESP32, a good tutorial, and good power habits. Honestly, the best combination is this. Use Arduino Uno for the first 1 or 2 weeks to learn the fundamentals, and then move to ESP32. What's next? In the next video, I can build the same project on both boards. The same button, the same sensor, the same output. But on ESP32, we add Wi-Fi and build a small web interface or MQTT control. If you want that video, comment Uno versus ESP32 project. If this video helped you, hit like. It really helps the channel reach more people who are learning embedded systems. Subscribe for embedded systems, electronics, automation, and IoT projects. I'll leave useful links and a beginner parts list in the description. See you in the next video. Bye.